Hello and welcome to this special Newysports episode. Tonight we're at Wallsend, Johnson Park, to chat with Gary Rowe and some of his players here at the home of the Bluebells, one of the most historic clubs in the new FM competition. So hopefully we'll have a good time here and have a good chat with some of the players and Gary, of course. Enjoy. I'm here with Wallsend head coach Gary Rowe. First of all, mate, how's things tracking in pre-season?
Yeah, can't complain, mate. It's as good as we can get for this week 3 of pre-season.
Yeah.
Pretty happy.
Trial on the weekend, obviously the result doesn't matter, but it was good to see the team get out there and test out some combinations and whatnot.
Yeah, all of the teams from 17s up achieved what we wanted to out of it. So yeah, first trial game of the season is about getting miles in their legs, and we tick that box. So that's the most important thing.
Yeah. One of the first things I noticed was there's a little bit more depth here this year across positions. It's sort of exciting to have, I guess, a lot of players to select from over the top 2 senior squads.
Yeah, and look, that's part of taking a few years for us to get better people in the club and having things moving in the right direction. So part of the process was to make sure the gap between our haves and have-nots were much smaller. And this year, they've got 18, 19 blokes that could play first grade each week, and it makes life a lot easier for all of us and keeps everyone on their toes.
Yeah. Obviously, consistency let you down last year. Is that probably the one thing one word you'd use to describe 2016 is inconsistency?
Yeah, look, most of that inconsistency was caused by us.
Yeah.
If we keep everyone on the park this season, the inconsistency goes away.
Yeah.
And part of that last year was that, different times when things got tough, that because you don't have the depth, that guys don't push themselves as hard as they need to.
Yeah.
So that's changed now. We can see that from the weekend of who we had running around in under 23s, that there's people that can't hide from that. So if we keep everybody on deck this season, we'll be a different outfit to be facing every week.
Yeah, that was going to be one of my questions about the discipline. I guess it's something the club's really looking at improving this year.
Yeah, look, what we suffered from last year was a bit of immaturity across the group, and we've got first grade team that's averaging 21, 22 years old and no one to calm them down.
Yeah.
Sometimes it gets a little bit away from them, and that's part of them learning. So hopefully this time with the depth that we just talked about, that if one of them gets suspended and they spend lots of time in 23s, that might change their habits. Yeah. And change their attitude to different things. It's the cards that you get for the nonsense.
Yeah.
That's disappointing. So
yeah.
We've certainly spoken about it at length with everybody, and hopefully that changes.
Obviously the competition's changed a bit this year with Lakes gone, New Lansing coming in. Is there a real, a push for finals, be in the race and actually, maybe not win a premiership or anything like that, but definitely push the top 4 over the course of the season?
I think that's everyone's goal.
Yeah.
At day's end, my mantra when I came here was just to make sure we get better every year, and we have done so far. Yeah, it wasn't hard to start with, but look, if we play well, we're capable of sneaking in. Yeah, and if we struggle at different stages with injury or whatever, we're going to be mid-table, I think. But certainly, we would like to think we could sneak in there somewhere.
Yeah, you've been around Newcastle for a while. Is the club here, the community, sort of a real drive behind what the team does on the field?
That's certainly what small towns like us need. Yeah. If you don't have engagement of players from local areas and the community helping it makes it a bit harder. So and when I played here years and years ago, and lots of the great players that have been through the club have mostly come from local areas, and that certainly helps and builds a certain amount of loyalty and camaraderie around the club. So that's long term, that would be ideal to have everyone from the local area, but it's not always that simple. Yeah, sort of bring in, but they're a tight bunch of boys here now, so it certainly will help us moving forward.
Only just announced the Heritage Cup. Are you sort of excited to be part of that?
Yes and no. Yeah. It's a great idea. I'm glad that someone came up with it. It's a tough time of year to be playing it a week before the comp. But, look, it's a great idea, and we're happy to be involved.
Yeah. A big part of what this club's about is the youth coming through. The under 17s and 19s were obviously probably the bright part of last season, and was it good to see them get in the grand final and get such a big following there that day?
Yeah, of course. That's what you want when you're starting a rebuild, which the club was you know, from 4 years ago, that's what you want. You want to get the good young guys. Yeah. It's just going to take us, you know, a handful of years to get them up into the higher grades. But we were really lucky that we had that, and we had some good coaches to nurture them and get them through to where we needed to. So, and like you said, the pleasing thing was the support. There's a lot of blue shirts out there for the game, so that certainly helped us attract some good kids into the lower grades and some into the senior grades, that things are going along like that, so it makes all of our lives a bit easier.
Alright, it was good to catch up, mate, and good luck for the season. Thanks, mate. Thank you. Alright, I'm here with Andrew Cairney from West Wallsend. First of all, mate, how's pre-season going?
Mate, it hasn't been too bad so far. It's been pretty hot, but lads are putting in, a lot of effort. Just the heat, mate. Probably getting to everybody, but no, pre-season's been good so far. Yeah. So looking forward to it at the start of the season.
Thoughts on the trial match on the weekend against Borden?
It's results really irrelevant. It's more about just getting K's in your legs, I reckon. Especially this start of the year, you don't want no injuries. Yeah. So no, it was just good to have a hit out, you know. Just good to have a hit out, really.
Yeah. You're talking about training in hot conditions. Obviously, a lot of clubs dealing with it, but is this a welcome relief? Conditions like this tonight?
Absolutely, it is, mate. You know, it's a bit more relaxed at training tonight. You know. Yeah. I hate training in 40-degree heat, as I reckon everybody who plays football does. You know, it's not pleasant. So
is there a real will here to sort of improve on last year and possibly push for finals football in the top 2 grades?
Absolutely. I think last year we showed, there's a fair few games there, where we absolutely punished teams. Cahaiba, Cessnock, and we just probably lacked a little bit of discipline, having key players suspended or injured at, certain points of the year. But, I think we've got a lot more depth this year, lads are training hard. I think we'll push for, we'll do really well this year.
Yeah, you mentioned the discipline. That's obviously something the club's going to try and aim to improve, is less yellow cards, less red cards, definitely.
Absolutely, mate. Yeah, it hurts, especially in this comp. When you don't have your best players available each week, you get picked off, and it's basically whoever shows up on the day who wants it more is gonna 99 times out of 100 is going to get the result.
Yeah. Is there a real honour playing for this club? The history here, it's probably second to none.
I left, I think it was the start of, middle of 2012, and I went and played at Edgeworth. I come back in 2015. I always wanted to, play soccer for Westie when I was growing up as a kid. It's got, as you said, proud history. And it makes it a lot easier too when you're playing with all your best mates every week. It's go and have a beer after we finish, and it's a real great club here. I'll enjoy it.
Yeah. The home support here obviously drives on the team really well. Like, it's a real vocal ground, really intimidating venue when it's packed with Westie fans.
Oh, absolutely, mate. You get probably 50 or 60 blokes, who've got local rugby league side, and they all come here and have a few beers and they get behind us. You can't beat support. You can't beat it.
Final question about the depth here. You mentioned it earlier. Is it good to have competition for spots? Is that really going to improve the team?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I think with having 2 or 3 blokes, who can all play first grade, like in certain positions and whatnot, it's just going to want to make everybody at training, put in that extra 10%, and come game day.
Yeah. Good catch up, mate.
No worries. Thanks, bud. Cheers.
Thank you. 7. I'm here with Jordi Van Kemenade from West Wallsend. First of all, mate, how's pre-season going?
Yeah, good.
Yep. Training in probably 40-degree conditions at time over the last few weeks. Is it good to have a training night in these conditions?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Gary Rowe, what do you think of him as a coach? Is he really valuable for the club, and I guess a good coach to work under?
Yeah, definitely.
Yep. Pushing for the top 4 this year?
Hopefully. Got a good side this year, so hopefully we can go top 4.
Yeah, there's a lot of depth added on here. There's a few new players, and I guess it's good to have competitions for spots. You yourself, is it about improving the team as a collective across first and 23s?
Yeah, big time.
Yeah. Flying in under the radars, does that help? Obviously there's you got your Hybrids and your Bell Swans, and they're purchasing players left, right, and centre. But here it's a real special culture. West is it? Is it good to play out here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Culture of the club, good but fun, but football focused.
Yeah.
You'd say.
Come out here for like, a bit of fun with a few good mates and enjoy our football.
Yeah. Final question. Improvement on last season. We talked about aiming for finals, but is it important to keep players on the park and not have players get suspended?
Yeah, that would help. Keeping 11 players on the field always helps us.
Yeah. It's good to catch up, mate. Good luck for the season.
Thank you. Cheers.
I'm here with Jordi Van Kemenade from Wallsend. First of all, mate, how's pre-season going?
Yeah, it's going good, mate. First time back in a couple of seasons, so
Yep.
it's getting good. Good to be back on that pitch.
Yeah. Thoughts on the trial match on the weekend?
Yeah, it was alright. Gave one goal away, but I was a little bit nervous, but got one back for us, so
Yeah.
easy.
Testing conditions throughout pre-season, is it good to train in cooler conditions, I guess?
Oh, I've been in England for the last 2 years, so it's been pretty hot. So
This is still hot for you, I
Yeah.
guess. Culture of the club, like, is it a very good, like a fun culture, but obviously football is the main focus here?
yeah, definitely 100%. Yeah, it's my first year here, so
Yep.
100% love it at the moment. So it's good to be around.
Yeah. Obviously the team isn't up there with, they're not being tipped to win any trophies or anything, so is it good to fly under the radar, I guess?
Yeah, it can be, but I reckon we'll be up there. We've got a few good players coming in this year, so
Yeah.
it should be alright.
It's a real strong depth at the club this year. I think there'll be a lot of competitions for spots.
100%.
Yeah.
Everyone's fighting for a position in the club at the moment, so it's good at the moment.
Heritage Cup's coming up. Obviously you probably wouldn't know too much about that, but it's a very historic club. Is it good to play for a club with history like Wallsend?
Yeah, definitely 100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
Excited for round one here against New Lambton. Now that's been moved to Wembley and gives you the home ground advantage.
I think I'm unavailable due to cricket, so which is unfortunate, but I wish I could play, but hopefully cricket's called off so I can come here and play.
Yeah.
So,
Alright, good to catch up, mate. Good luck for the season.
thank you, mate. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm here with Zac Park from Wallsend, a newcomer here. How's it feel to be at the club?
Yeah, good. Getting along with the boys well, fitting in, so can't wait to get started and get the first game on the way.
Yeah. How's pre-season going?
Yeah, pretty good. Fitting in well with the boys, so just a matter of getting right what Gary says, so just aiming to do that now.
Yeah.
And Cameo on the park.
Obviously the result didn't matter on the weekend, but the trial against Fortin would have been good to get out of the park with the new team.
Yeah, getting to know the boys a lot more and get to know who's in what positions and get each other's games. So it's good in that regard. So a few more trial games and that would be a lot better.
Yeah. There's a lot of competitions for spots here, good depth at the club, a lot of good defenders coming through. Is it good to see that here at Wallsend?
Yeah, probably luck in the past couple of seasons, so hopefully new defenders that come in and ones that are already here fighting for positions, so good to see depth and competition.
Yeah, I've been asking everyone this. Obviously a lot of teams have been training in 40 degree heat. Is it good to be training on a cooler night for once?
Yeah, but it's been hot recently, so
Yeah.
shame training, but not much you can do.
How do you enjoy working under Gary Rowe?
Yeah, it's good. I've only been here, like I say, start of the season, so just listen to what he says and he's trying to get the best out of me, which is good. So I'm just giving him 100%.
Yeah, that was good catch up, mate. Good luck for the season. There's so much swearing.
Well, that's all right.
I'm here with Brad Andrew from Wallsend. First of all, mate, how's pre-season?
Yeah, good. Just good to get back into things and whatnot.
Yeah.
Back in the juice.
How'd you feel going in the trial against Fortin? Obviously the result doesn't matter, but it'd be good to get a hit out.
Yeah, it was good to get to know most of the boys anyway. We're new player at the club.
Yeah.
So,
How are you enjoying working with Gary Rowe?
Yeah, good. It's different. Has a different look on football. The coaches have been around, but that's what you get.
Yeah. You were at Edgeworth last year. Is it a little bit of excitement sort of coming here to West Wallsend, the club that's sort of on the rise? You know, they're sort of looking at building over the next few years, I guess, and potentially push for an NPL application.
Yeah, it's obviously a bit different to the NPL system and whatnot, but yeah, it's a good club, and like I said, building to get back into that top division.
Yeah. Good club, a lot of history here. Is it good to play for a club with such a long history, illustrious history, really?
Yeah, I think the one thing that you can notice straight away is team morale, and everybody plays with a bit of passion and plays for the club rather than themselves. Yeah.
Probably haven't got a taste of it yet, being a trial match on the weekend, but you're looking forward to playing in front of the passionate supporters here at West.
Yeah, was a supporter, but now I get to play for them, so it's a bit exciting.
Yeah. Discipline last year, obviously you weren't here, but the club's probably looking to improve the yellow card count, the red card count, and keep players on the park, and try and win games with 11 men on the field.
Yeah, discipline's obviously a big part of football, especially keeping people on the field to say, but even just discipline in executing plans.
Yeah, definitely.
Doing each head do to win the game.
Yeah. Is it really key over the next couple of weeks in pre-season to get those game plans in mind and really work towards round one?
I think Gary's just looking at just mixing it up a bit, just get the senior squad, and then towards the end put the teams back in together, and then work out what we need to do.
Yeah. Only just announced that the club's playing in the Heritage Cup. Are you excited for that?
I'm not really too sure about what it is, but it's good
possibly
to
playing against NPL opposition, so it'll be a good test.
Interesting, yeah. Good to get another hit out. Good pre-season comp.
Yeah. Good to catch up, mate. Good luck for the season.
Thank you.
I'm here with Dom Langowski from West Wallsend. First question we've been asking everyone, how's pre-season going so far?
Yeah, it's alright, pretty cruisy.
Yeah. Is it good to be in these sort of conditions and not 44-degree heat?
Yeah, it's a lot better.
Obviously last year the club had a bit of an issue keeping players on the field with discipline. Is that a real focus here? Gary Rowe did talk about it, the focus to keep players out there and just lower the card count a little bit.
Yeah, it was a big issue for us last year, probably let us down.
Yeah.
So we probably could have made top 6, top 4. Didn't foul so much and get so many yellows, reds.
Yeah. And there were portions of last season that proved what this team's capable of, the Tiber win and Cessnock and Toronto as well. It's a good team on their day.
It is, yeah. We just got to move the ball quicker, and the rest takes care of the score. We've got a lot of good goal scorers like Coley and Big Dog when he wants to step up, so yeah, it's all good.
A lot of characters here at West. Is it really a good club to play for, a good culture?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Everyone heads back to the pub after, so yeah, we love it.
Yeah. Round 1 is here against New Lantern, has been moved. Is it really sort of, I guess, an advantage to be playing in front of such vocal fans here at West Wallsend? They're probably second to none.
Yeah, it's awesome playing at Westie, so yeah, everybody loves it. That's why we come back.
Yeah. Gary Rowe as a coach, is he improving year in, year out as a coaching person and sort of the game plan? Is that...
Yeah. He knows what he's talking about. Everyone just needs to stick to it and we'll be fine.
Yeah. Well, good luck for the season, and I'll let you get back out of training. Cheers, mate. Alright, got some bonus footage here at West Wallsend. This is a big dog, Jared Oliveri, not Olivieri. Got to stop saying that. Here he goes, the big dog, he's off. He's off, he's going to love this footage. And scores a goal, how about that for timing? Big dog scores at training, there it is. Alright, thank you for joining us for this special presentation here in Newysports looking at the West Wallsend Football Club. I will see you in the next episode.